Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Larry Augustin and I'm Vice President of Business Applications at AWS. I'm joining you today from a socially distant studio in downtown Seattle. I'm thrilled to spend time with you today to talk about something unique at AWS, applications. Like some of the largest application builders in the world, our apps team at AWS builds on top of the AWS cloud. Now, applications are services designed for end users. End users is the key element here. AWS is known for developer services, and when you compare us alongside other core AWS businesses, such as compute, storage, database, and machine learning, you may wonder why we ended up also building applications. Well, it's a great question, and the story of how that happened is probably something that sounds familiar to you. Because I believe it's the same story you've gone through. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to how people work. And there's no one-size-fits-all for software. Even though some traditional software companies will put products together into suites that are designed to do everything for everyone, the reality is that as organizations, we are as diverse as we are as individuals. What a human resources director needs is different from what a contact center agent needs. What a salesperson needs is different from what a financial analyst needs. The same is true for organizations. Several years ago, when Amazon was examining what apps we needed by role in our company, it was clear to us that we needed to give each unique individual the choice of tools to get their job done. A single bundle doesn't meet everyone's needs. We wanted more flexibility. We also didn't want to get locked into complex licensing agreements that forced us to limit access and didn't distinguish light usage from heavy usage. Traditional pricing and packaging methods didn't match the way we did business. We didn't want to pay for software we weren't using. Some vendors even wanted to charge us per employee based off the high watermark of employees working during our busiest retail season. That just didn't work for us. We wanted applications that came with utility pricing, just like we offer for our other services at AWS. Now, our customers also told us that they wanted something different. Traditional pricing and packaging from other vendors didn't match the way they did business. And just like us, they didn't want to pay for software they weren't using. And they told us the types of applications they needed. They needed applications to communicate with their most important constituents, their customers. They needed applications to communicate and collaborate internally. And they needed secure mechanisms to access those apps, regardless of where the end user sat. Based on our customers' needs, we built our applications business. For communicating with customers, we have our customer engagement tools. Amazon Simple Email Service, SES, is a cost-effective, flexible, and scalable email service that enables developers to send email from within any application. Amazon Pinpoint is a flexible and scalable outbound and inbound marketing communication service. Using Pinpoint, you can connect with customers and run messaging campaigns over channels like email, SMS, push, or voice. And Amazon Connect is an easy-to-use omni-channel cloud contact center that helps companies provide superior customer service at a lower cost. Next, we have our general business productivity apps. Amazon Chime delivers audio, video, and screen sharing for end users. And the Amazon Chime SDK enables developers to build those capabilities into their own web or mobile applications. Amazon WorkDocs is a fully managed, secure content creation, storage, and collaboration service. Amazon Honeycode enables anyone to build applications for managing their team's work without any coding required. And Alexa for Business enables organizations and employees to use Alexa as their enterprise intelligent assistant. Finally, to allow simple, secure access to business applications from anywhere, we have our end-user computing services. Workspaces and AppStream offer desktop as a service and application streaming as a service. Amazon WorkLink provides secure access to browser-based applications. In all cases, you're free to choose only the applications you need and leave what you don't. And as always, you only pay for what you use. For example, you could give every person in your company access to our contact center application, Amazon Connect. But we only charge for the minutes that are actually used. So if an agent handles 20 hours per week, you only pay for those 20 hours. If they use none, you pay zero. It's true utility computing brought to applications. Now, our customers liked our approach. They saw how we were enabling our workers with the right combination of applications for the specific business need, and they liked our true utility computing pricing model. John Hancock found that customers had an improved experience in their IVR using Amazon Connect. The old IVR didn't recognize customers automatically. Amazon Connect cut customers' time in the IVR by 50%. Customers like Spokio. Using Amazon Connect, Spokio improved their average handle times and customer wait times. And they've been able to cut their contact center costs by 70%. And customers like Mitel. Mitel wanted to add real-time video to their unified communications platform. Mitel used our Amazon Chime SDK to create a new communications and collaboration service. But we're never content to stand still. Our customers are at the heart of who we are and why we build at AWS. We're designing the future of applications, and we want you along on that journey with us. In our time together today, I want to take you through 5 characteristics we see as defining applications of the future. First, work is about teamwork. It's important that we not only empower the individual, but how the individual works with others. People work in teams, not alone. Research shows that over 80% of people in businesses work in teams. Applications of the future must enable people to coordinate their work together seamlessly. Collaboration must be built in, not something that's just done outside of the application. We'll spend time today on how we make that possible with AWS and how agility and flexibility in collaboration and task coordination helps teams get work done. Next, over time, every app and every device will use AI technologies like machine learning to become smarter, more efficient, and proactive. The application should learn over time, ultimately suggesting to the user the right actions instead of leaving the user to figure out decisions all on their own. You'll see us leveraging the deep AI capabilities of AWS to build intelligence into the core of all of our applications. Now, historically, business applications have been what we call systems of record. That is, their primary purpose has been to keep a record of information. For example, tracking orders, customer information, tracking expenses, tracking inventory. In the future, applications will enable the business activity and record that the user did that activity as a side effect. Applications will be about systems that help people get things done, systems of action, not just about recording the results in a system of record. For example, later in this talk, you'll see how Amazon Connect, together with Amazon Contact Lens, helps a call center agent by suggesting the right answer to a question and not just logging a recording of a call. Applications of the future will also help people get out of the business of doing repetitive tasks. Users want simplicity and automation to do their jobs. Computers are great at doing the same thing over and over again. But we shouldn't ask people to behave like computers. We should rather design our applications to do the automated, repetitive work and free up people to be creative and apply human judgment instead of making them do repetitive tasks. Finally, and I promise you that this was on our radar screen before the pandemic, we know that work doesn't just get done in the corporate office. It can and must get done from your home office, your kitchen table, your couch, or even the beach, although I doubt sometimes that people are really doing work at the beach. But regardless, our investments in technology will make these remote work use cases even more effective than the old normal and take us forward to whatever is the new normal. I hope that you're as excited as I am about the future of applications. Let's now take a deeper look at what we're bringing you today in each of these areas. Now, the idea of working in teams to create something bigger than yourself, not a new concept. Across time, industries, culture, people have always worked together to get more work done. It's the power of 1 + 1 is greater than 2. At AWS, we focused on enabling people to be agile and also to collaborate in ways that work for them, using whatever tools work for them. It's our one-size-does-not-fit-all philosophy. For example, we have a great partnership with Slack, and you'll hear from them later. Our customers told us that they had several needs in coordinating and collaborating in teams. They needed to help coordinating tasks among team members, but IT didn't have the time or staff to help them by building something custom or managing software at the team level. They needed help staying organized, but needed more than a one-size-fits-all tool. They needed help figuring out what tasks needed to be done by the individual and what milestones needed to be managed for group decisions. And they needed to coordinate all of that in a way that was easy for non-developers to build and manage. Now, people would often use spreadsheets to solve these problems. I think we've all seen the spreadsheet list of to-do items with owners, dates, red, yellow, green status. But maintaining that spreadsheet is often a full-time job. It's a lot of work. And for big projects, that may involve a whole team of people. That's why we announced the beta release of Amazon Honeycode. Honeycode is a fully managed service that allows customers to quickly build team applications with no programming experience required. You can get started creating applications in minutes. You use tables in a spreadsheet along with a visual builder to create your application. Applications can range in complexity from individual users managing their own work to managing jobs across multiple teams or departments. Most importantly, you don't need to be a developer or have IT support to get started. Here at reInvent 2020, we're adding several new capabilities to the beta. First, we're excited to announce integrations with Zapier and Amazon AppFlow to allow connecting Honeycode with other data sources. This gives Honeycode app builders the ability to connect with thousands of applications. Users can schedule these connector workflows or trigger them on events. For example, when an opportunity changes state in Salesforce, say the customer became a win, you could kick off a workflow in Honeycode to track a set of onboarding steps for the new customer. Next, we're adding support for multiple third-party identity providers, such as Okta, to simplify single sign-on for enterprises and enable authentication across those multiple services. Finally, we're adding additional templates to enable Honeycode app builders to get started with even more use cases faster. Templates like applicant tracking, collaborative brainstorming, instant polls, and even running meetings. But don't take my word for it. Let's see it in action. I'd like to invite up onto the virtual stage Khanda to take us through how you can use Amazon Honeycode in some of your day-to-day teamwork. Khanda, take it away.
Thank you, Larry. My name is Kanda Sankarapandian, and I'm a solutions architect for Amazon Honeycode. Let's look at an example scenario where Honeycode is used to improve a team's agility and productivity. Any Company Design is a fictional interior design company with a website where their customers are able to learn about their offerings and submit a request for quotes on design projects. Before Honeycode, this request would have been sent as an email to their sales team. A sales agent will have to pick up the request, create the code, email their manager for approval, and finally, send it to the customer. The handoffs between the different parties in this scenario can lead to delays, especially as the team size and the number of customer requests grow. Now let's look at the same flow after Any Company Design adopts Honeycode. Any Company Designs customer submits a request to get a code for remodeling their kitchen. The customer's request flows into Honeycode via Zapier. A sales agent gets a notification about the new code request, opens it in Honeycode, and creates a code using the rate card stored in Honeycode. The code is under $1,000, so the agent is able to send the code out to the customer immediately. If the code is over $1,000, the sales agent will be able to submit this code to their manager for approval. The sales manager opens their Honeycode app, reviews the code, and approves this request. Honeycode will then use the Zapier integration to create the code document and deliver it to the customer's email. Here is how Any Company Design created this great experience for their customers. We start with Honeycode tables, where you store your data. Tables in Honeycode can run calculations just like a spreadsheet, but can also be linked together like in a database. We then use Honeycode App Builder to create personalized apps for the sales agents and managers. Honeycode App Builder creates web and mobile apps at the same time. Builders can use the drag and drop interface to build apps with elements such as a list view to view data from your tables, various input types to allow app users to enter data, and buttons to click and have automations take action. For example, the Submit for Approval button will update the status of the code to pending approval and sends a notification to the sales manager. Finally, we set up a Zapier application called Zap to receive the requests submitted from Any Company Designs website. Request details are mapped to columns in Honeycode table. Similarly, we set up another Zap to send completed codes from Honeycode to the customer via a Zapier webhook. You can also use Amazon Appflow to set up integrations between Honeycode and external systems such as Salesforce, Slack, and AWS services such as Amazon Redshift, Amazon S3, etc. Business users and citizen developers can integrate and extend Honeycode using Zapier and Amazon Appflow. With that, I invite everyone to start building now with Amazon Honeycode. Your first simple application can replace existing email and spreadsheet-based business processes. Honeycode has predefined templates for a number of common use cases such as task management, customer contact tracking, event and demo booking, asset and inventory management, and field service agent support. If you are ready to build your first app, get started for free by signing up at honeycode.aws. App building support is provided using the Honeycode Community Forum, where you will also find tutorials and free online classes on Honeycode. You can also reach out to us at honeycode-bd@amazon.com if you have any questions. Thank you for your time, and back to you, Larry.
Thank you, Kanda, for that great overview of Amazon Honeycode. I'm always excited by that demo because I see the power of AWS that we're now bringing to people without the need for them to write code. We're excited to see what people can do with Honeycode and this latest set of new capabilities. Again, we see team collaboration as being a core capability of applications in the future. You saw one example of how we're enabling agile teams, and we're going to continue to innovate from there. Next, let's talk about built-in intelligence. We've been saying for years that applications of the future will use machine learning and artificial intelligence to enable users to work smarter. AI will recognize patterns, generate insights, and provide recommendations to automate actions. But you shouldn't need to be a data scientist or AI expert to benefit from what AI can bring. Intelligence will be built into the application, always looking for ways to help the user accomplish their task, and without the user needing to become an expert in AI. The latest example of this is with Amazon Connect, our cloud contact center solution. Over 10 years ago, when Amazon.com needed a contact center to support our retail business, we couldn't find a solution that fit our needs, so we built it. Amazon Connect is an easy-to-use, omni-channel, cloud-based contact center service that scales to support businesses of any size. We released Connect to the public in 2017, and now thousands of customers use it to deliver superior customer service at a lower cost. Amazon Connect's truly revolutionary in the contact center space. You can literally spin up a call center in less than 15 minutes from the AWS console and scale it from a single agent to tens of thousands of agents. And we're constantly innovating with Amazon Connect. Here at reInvent 2020, we're releasing multiple major new features to help increase contact center agent productivity and improve customer satisfaction. Contact centers will especially benefit from AI and machine learning built in natively. For example, contact centers that handle sensitive data like financial services or healthcare have traditionally had to manually authenticate customers by asking them to answer multiple questions. Questions based on personal details like social security number, date of birth, mother's maiden name. However, hackers can exploit this and commit fraud by using social engineering and stolen personal information from data breaches. As a result, businesses have started incorporating additional security factors, such as personal PINs and one-time passwords. But even these secondary factors are vulnerable to hackers, and worse, the authentication mechanisms create friction in the customer experience. With Amazon Connect Voice ID, powered by machine learning, voice analysis can be used to confirm caller identity. We've all had that experience of calling a customer service department and having to jump through hoops to identify yourself and prove who you are, remember your PIN. Well, no more. As soon as a call starts, Amazon Connect Voice ID uses machine learning to analyze the caller's speech in real time and extracts a voice print that implicitly captures unique aspects of an individual's voice, such as speech rhythm, pitch, intonation, and loudness. In addition to decreasing the risk of someone impersonating a customer, you'll also reduce the time that agents have to spend asking all of those multiple identifying questions, saving them time, but also improving the customer experience. Amazon Connect Voice ID is available in preview today. Now, machine learning and AI not only make identification of customers more secure and efficient, but they allow contact center supervisors to react to customer sentiment. To understand trends and sentiment of customer calls in a contact center, many legacy contact center solutions rely on manually reviewing transcripts after the call. Now, not only do contact centers rarely have the staff for those manual reviews, but if a problem occurred, it's a little bit too late. I mean, you've already finished with the customer. It's too late to fix the problem for that customer. Imagine now if you could identify a customer issue while it happened. We all know that it costs more to earn a new customer than keep an existing one. What if we could solve those problems in real time at the moment? Well, we launched Contact Lens for Amazon Connect last year at reInvent, and this year we've added the ability to understand customer conversations in real time. Using AWS machine learning natural language processing, Contact Lens for Amazon Connect transcribes contact center calls to create a fully searchable call transcript. Supervisors can quickly and easily discover emerging themes and trends from customer conversations directly in Amazon Connect. Contact Lens now also allows supervisors to be alerted to issues in real time. For example, when an agent is unable to help a frustrated customer, the supervisor will be alerted and can intervene, helping you to ensure a great customer experience. Contact Lens with real-time analysis is available today. These new real-time capabilities are revolutionizing customer experience. Instead of reviewing customer engagements after the fact, we're empowering agents and supervisors to do the right thing right now when it matters. It's game-changing for the industry and for our customers. As you can see, our team in AWS Apps is making multiple investments to ensure that AI technologies benefit everyone through built-in intelligence without the need to invest in data science skills. Let's move on to our next characteristic of apps of the future, creating systems of action. Now, enterprise applications are historically systems which people use to record what they did. You probably know those as systems of record. For example, tracking inventory, reporting expenses, or recording customer orders. Recording, tracking, and reporting are all important functions for an enterprise, yes. But what's more important is getting the job done. It's the task that the employee is recording, tracking, or reporting about that matters. Applications of the future will be focused on the task and helping people accomplish the task. Reporting, tracking, and recording should be side effects of doing the task. Now, systems of records today often ask people to report on their work rather than help them do their work. For example, asking a customer service agent to log a record of a call instead of giving the agent the information they need to respond quickly to the customer, and then automatically logging the record of the call for the agent. Or consider a salesperson working the phones. The old system of record is about recording how many calls the salesperson made, who they talked to, or the result of a call. The future system of action helps the salesperson understand who they talked to, arms them with information to help them have an intelligent, informed conversation, and records for them the activity of the call. To create systems of action, we need to bring together the right data at the right point in the process to enable the user. Let's now take a look at how we're creating the future systems of action in the call center. We've all been on calls with customer support agents where it felt like the agent just didn't have access to the information they needed. We've all experienced the long hold times, the need to explain multiple times our problem. In many cases, agents must toggle back and forth between a half dozen different screens and disparate systems of record to find the data about an order or information about a product needed to solve problems during a customer call. Why? The system should do that for the agent. There's nothing differentiated or magic about looking up a customer record in 5 different systems. Computers can do that. Let the agent be more human and leave that work to the computer. Well, that's exactly what we're doing. We're creating the system of action that helps the agent do their job. Our first step is pulling all that information together with Amazon Connect customer profiles. Amazon Connect customer profiles aggregates customer information from disparate systems of record and surfaces a customer profile directly to the agent within Amazon Connect. Through built-in connectors for Salesforce, Marketo, Zendesk, and ServiceNow, as well as APIs to integrate homegrown apps and data stores, agents now have all of that customer information in a single place. We also scan and match customer records on unique identifiers such as phone numbers and account IDs to combine and deduplicate information into a single customer profile. Surfacing data in the right context at the right time not only saves agents time, but it saves customers time as well. You get both increased agent productivity and increased customer satisfaction. Amazon Connect customer profiles is available today. But it's not just about finding the right customer information. It's about helping the agent to accomplish their ultimate goal. Get the right answer to the customer, solve their problem, and create a satisfied customer. To answer customer questions, agents usually rely on a patchwork of knowledge repositories, file shares, wikis, FAQ stores, or the web. An agent can easily spend over 15 minutes switching between data sources, navigating document folders, and searching keywords in different systems to find the right content and the right answers. As a result, the information that agents frequently use is out of date, and up to half of all customer questions are answered incorrectly or require escalation. These challenges increase the time it takes for agents to resolve customer issues, which lowers customer satisfaction and increases your contact center costs. It's a perfect opportunity for a system of action. With the right information pulled into the right context, that's where our next feature, Amazon Connect Wisdom, comes in. Amazon Connect Wisdom enables agents to search across all knowledge repositories within an organization using natural language processing. That makes it fast and easy for agents to have all the relevant information quickly available. But what's truly next generation is when you can combine wisdom with the new real-time capabilities in Contact Lens. Contact Lens listens to a call in real time. It identifies key customer phrases, it looks up the topics in wisdom, and then wisdom then presents to the agent the possible answers. This is a true proactive system of action, bringing relevant information to the agent without the need for the agent to even ask. Amazon Connect Wisdom is available for preview today. Now, a demo's worth 1,000 words. To show you how this works from the start of a customer call, I'd like to welcome up Yasser. Yasser?
Thanks, Larry. My name is Yasser El-Haggan, and I lead our Solutions Architecture organization for productivity applications. I'm super excited about these new features we're launching and would like to give you a quick look at how these features can come together to help you provide great customer service while increasing agent efficiency. In this demonstration, we have a customer that is calling into an insurance company that is using Amazon Connect for their contact center. The customer thinks they can decrease their premium by getting rid of property damage liability coverage. Let's see how Amazon Connect Voice ID, Customer Profiles, Wisdom, and Contact Lens Real Time can add value to this experience. The customer has been authenticated in the IVR with Amazon Connect Voice ID, and the call is routed to an agent. Amazon Connect Customer Profiles automatically found a matching profile for this caller, enabling the agent to get the pertinent details about this customer and their contact history, regardless of which agent served the customer last or what phone number the customer called from. As the agent answers the call,
Incoming contact authenticated with Voice ID.
Amazon Connect can play an audible notification letting the agent know that the customer has already been authenticated. As the customer and the agent continue the conversation, the customer asks if they can remove property damage liability from their policy and questions why it's required. Wisdom uses real-time speech analytics from Contact Lens to automatically detect customer issues during calls, and then recommends information to help resolve the issue. In this case, Wisdom automatically surfaced a relevant article showing that property damage liability is required in every state, without agents having to search for the information. So at this point, I've touched on elements of Voice ID, Customer Profiles, Contact Lens Real Time, and Wisdom from the agent's perspective. Now let's take a look at how these new features can benefit the contact center supervisors and positively impact the customer experience while the call is still active. With Contact Lens Real Time, it is easy to set up real-time alerts in just a few clicks. In the Rules page, you can add a real-time rule that matches words or phrases that were mentioned or not mentioned, where the speaker is the customer, agent, or both. These real-time rules provide alerts on the real-time metrics page where supervisors can be alerted in real time as rules get matched during live calls. Let's see how real-time alerts can play into this scenario. At this point, the customer has become frustrated and threatens to cancel their policy. The supervisor can see there is a contact with alerts, and as they highlight the alerts icon, they can get a quick summary of real-time categories that have been triggered. In this case, it's the customer cancel category that the supervisor previously set up. When the supervisor clicks on that icon, they can see the progress of this contact in real time. They can quickly see the sentiment summary, as well as the transcript all the way from the beginning of the call, all in real time. Using machine learning, Contact Lens Real Time will even highlight the detected issue. Here we can see that Contact Lens picked up that the customer was trying to lower their bill by removing the property damage liability coverage. Now the supervisor is able to back-channel with the agent and suggest that maybe they can lower the coverage to the minimum allowed for the state where the customer has their policy. The agent takes the guidance from the supervisor and does a quick search using Wisdom. Wisdom finds a related article and surfaces the exact answer for the agent. Agents can easily provide feedback on Wisdom content directly within the Amazon Connect interface, without having to use email or other applications. Now that the agent has lowered the property damage liability coverage, the customer is satisfied and is happy they can save money on their bill. And while that's happening, the supervisor can continue to watch the progress of the conversation in real time and see that the customer is now satisfied. I hope you've enjoyed this brief demonstration of Amazon Connect Voice ID, Customer Profiles, Wisdom, and Contact Lens Real Time. We're excited to see how you put these features to use to delight your customers and your contact center staff. Thank you. Larry, back to you.
Thanks, Yasser. I can't help but get excited every time I see that demo. Amazon Connect is truly revolutionizing the contact center. Our next characteristic of applications of the future is that they will automate and simplify. Now, when I spoke about systems of action, an important element was taking repetitive tasks with little differentiation off the user's plate and letting the system do them. Automated workflows to guide people through processes and performing repetitive tasks for them will allow your employees to spend their time in areas that humans are uniquely good at. For example, really listening to that customer call and expressing empathy to the customer, instead of having to spend their time in the background trying to grind through screens to update some system of record. Traditional workflow automation strategies are designed to take repetitive or low-skill tasks and automate them where possible. In some cases, that even means removing visibility of the task itself from the end user. Let's come back again to the contact center agent and see how we're helping to automate and simplify. A contact center agent's work may not be complete even after they hang up the phone with a customer. They might need to file a return claim, update the customer's profile, or follow up with the customer to tell them status. In addition, since the time agents spend on all these tasks is not tracked in a single place, if it's tracked at all, managers lack the visibility and tools to effectively understand where agents are spending their time. Amazon Connect Tasks allows agents and managers to create, assign, track, and automate all the work that needs to be done, needs to be completed in the service of customers. Let's do a quick walkthrough of the agent experience. When an agent is assigned a task, they receive a notification in the Connect web-based agent application with a description and, when required, links to any external apps needed to complete the task. Agents can also create additional tasks to ensure follow-up work is not forgotten, such as calling a customer back to provide a status update on their issue. In addition, Amazon Connect Tasks makes it easy to automate workflows without requiring agent involvement using built-in integrations with Salesforce, Zendesk, Khoros, Sprinklr, and Amazon Pinpoint. Automation with tools like Amazon Connect Tasks enables agents to complete repetitive actions faster, with fewer errors, and once again, allowing them to focus more of their time on interacting with customers. Amazon Connect Tasks is available today. As we've done with Amazon Connect Tasks, you'll see us always looking for ways that our applications can take on the burden of doing repetitive tasks for the user, automating and simplifying their job. Next, let's talk about how applications of the future will include the ability to work everywhere. We used to say, in the future, people will work like they live, always online, working from a variety of devices at any time and from any place. That's still true, but I think the last year we've also learned that we need to be ready to work from any place, any time, because things change without notice. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed all of our lives in ways that no one could have imagined just a short year ago. Perhaps you're a parent like me and you had to work through digital learning at home throughout the spring while also juggling the reality of remote work. Maybe you lead an IT team for your company. If that's the case, this past year was probably about how quickly you were able to enable your employees to work securely from home. As organizations first reacted to the pandemic, it was about making sure that business could continue. At the very least, this meant access to enterprise resources from home for many employees that may not have had that access in the past. Most organizations only had the capacity and probably licensing to handle a subset of office workers. In some cases, employees like first-line workers had no remote capabilities at all. Many organizations across industries were not prepared to enable all employees for remote work. And even for customers that had a remote work strategy in place, it wasn't ready to scale for broad usage. Always-on virtual private networks were quickly saturated, and traditional virtual desktop infrastructure had a hard time scaling. We found customers were scrambling for a solution that would require no complex capacity planning or license requirements. Many customers found their solution in Amazon Workspaces and AppStream. Amazon Workspaces is a managed, secure, desktop-as-a-service solution. You can use Workspaces to provision either Windows or Linux desktops in just a few minutes and quickly scale to provide thousands of desktops to workers globally. Now, there are 4 core benefits to using either Workspaces or AppStream to deliver secure access to your end users. First and foremost, we help customers increase security. At AWS, everything we do starts with security, and our end user computing services are no exception. Critically, no user data is stored at the local device. This helps improve the security of user data and reduces your overall risk profile. Second, we help you increase agility. Organizations need to scale up and scale back access at a moment's notice. Our services allow you to roll out Windows and Linux desktops and apps anywhere in the world in minutes, and you can unwind that just as quickly. Third, we increase reliability. Running a virtual desktop infrastructure on-premise is hard. We have a 99.9% uptime SLA, and we've been at this since 2014. We like to say there's no compression algorithm for experience. Fourth, we help you save money. Because we run in the cloud at scale, we can keep our infrastructure costs low and pass on those low costs to you. A great example of what we can do with Workspaces is how we were able to help our customer Grubhub respond to COVID-19. Grubhub is a billion-dollar food service online and mobile platform featuring the largest and most comprehensive network of restaurant partners in the U.S. Local restaurants depend on Grubhub, and Grubhub needed to find a way to ensure the safety of their employees while maintaining business continuity. Grubhub made the decision to move all of their employees to a work-from-home model. In 2 days, Grubhub was able to scale from a few workspaces to over 1,200. As people work from more places outside the corporate network, workers are finding themselves in places with less reliable or low bandwidth networks. For example, working from homes or apartments with inconsistent Wi-Fi connections. To help people enable a resilient experience when accessing workspaces from anywhere, including high latency or high packet loss networks, we're pleased to announce here at reInvent 2020 the general availability of Amazon Workspaces Streaming Protocol. With Workspaces Streaming Protocol, users will continue to be productive and have access to enterprise resources even when faced with poor network conditions. Now, if there's an additional challenge that COVID has highlighted, it's that real-time communications needs to be extended into all areas of business. When meetings and video is a destination in a separate app, you lose more than just time. You lose productivity and context switching between applications. We believe that video will become a feature of every application. That's why we built the Amazon Chime SDK. The Amazon Chime SDK is a set of real-time communications components that lets developers quickly add audio, video, and screen sharing capabilities to their own applications. The key point here is that it's completely embedded within your app. You continue to control the end user experience, and users don't need to leave your application to communicate. Now, we've all learned as we've moved to doing virtual meetings from home during the pandemic, working from home often means you don't have a quiet, dedicated space free of kids or barking dogs. I think we've all had that experience where we've got to meet our coworkers' family pets, for example. Now, what happens if you're at home, but you don't have that dedicated space? What happens if you're in that noisy environment? Let's take a look at how some of Chime's capabilities reduce those distractions when you're trying to have one of those virtual meetings.
The Amazon Chime SDK integrates real-time communications into any application. Your end user can start communicating right within your app using your existing security and controls powered by the Amazon Chime SDK. You can start with chat for quick text-based messages, or enable video for richer conversations. Integrate video easily into your software, be it telemedicine, e-learning, or any type of remote communication experience. Your users have access to advanced communication capabilities when you use the Amazon Chime SDK, like voice focus, which eliminates background noise, like kids playing, or even your dog.
Can you hear me better now?
It sounds much better. It sounds great.
Busy background? No problem. Enabling background blur is easy with the Amazon Chime SDK. The user is detected within the video and their surroundings are blurred, removing distractions and keeping the conversation on task. Ready to offer your users a focused and enriching remote communication experience? Download the Amazon Chime SDK today.
Great example, isn't it? Using the scale of the AWS cloud, we're continuing to innovate and grow our capabilities since we launched the Amazon Chime SDK. You saw here 3 new features now available to users of the SDK. The ability to use our chat services in your application if you need them. Background blur, which gives you the ability to use machine learning to detect the person in a video call and remove visual distractions. And finally, voice focus, which eliminates background noise to remove audio distractions. Many of our customers are seeing the power of video everywhere enabled by the Chime SDK. For example, Salesforce is using the Chime SDK to power all the audio video in their new Salesforce Anywhere application. Cerner is using the Chime SDK to power video and telehealth within their electronic medical records product. And Slack is now using the Chime SDK to power all native video within the Slack application. Let's now bring up our partners at Slack to talk about how they see remote work and how they are using technologies like the Chime SDK.
Thank you, Larry. Hello, everybody. My name is James Colgan, and I'm a Director of Product Management here at Slack. The decades-long global shift to distributed work has required us to rethink the way our companies operate. And the advent of COVID-19 has accelerated what would have been done in years to months and sometimes weeks. Now, teams are in different time zones. Everyone is working 100% digitally, and people are regularly joining companies and colleagues who they've never physically met. This isn't just about bringing an in-person environment online. It's about completely rethinking how teams and entire corporations work. And this isn't going away. The majority of knowledge workers never want to go back. Only 12% want to return to full-time office work. The majority, 72%, want a hybrid remote office model moving forward. These are the issues you as leaders are wrestling with. But the number one issue underpins everything. In fact, it's just been made harder. The number one fundamental challenge within our companies is how to build and maintain alignment. In addition, as leaders, how do we enable speed and agility in a digital-only world? And how do we strengthen team connection and company culture in an environment where you don't have any of the traditional tools? We don't have in-person meetings, we don't have social events, and there are no more spontaneous water cooler conversations to help smooth over misunderstandings or nudge teams in the right direction. Listening to our customers, we are pleased to hear how Slack and our channel-based messaging platform has helped them to navigate this transition to a digital-only world. Using Slack in a very human way, our customers have brought together teams, partners, systems, and tools to build value for their company, be there for their customers, strengthen the relationships with partners, all while providing a sense of belonging and connection for their employees. According to IDC, 43% of workers report that in their transition to remote work, collaborating with external stakeholders is the hardest part of their day. To specifically address this challenge, this summer we launched Slack Connect. With Slack Connect, teams in one company on Slack securely collaborate with teams in different companies that are also using Slack. Already, these customers have experienced 3 times faster ticket resolution for customer support teams, 60% decrease in turnaround times for customer responses, and sales teams have recorded deals closing 4 times faster using Slack Connect. Now, let me show you how Slack Connect channels integrated with the AWS chatbot and Slack calls powered by the Amazon Chime SDK increase transparency, responsiveness, and significantly reduce overall time to incident resolution. Incidents are unpredictable. I've led many incidents in my career, and the biggest challenges have always been finding the right people and the right information to resolve the situation for my customer. In an email-siloed world of listservs and groups, I constantly found myself relying on organizational memory and personal networks to find the people and information my team needed. This was error-prone, highly inefficient, and extremely stressful for everyone on the team. And of course, incidents never happen at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'll never forget the time when I had to step away from a Thanksgiving dinner and step into a very stressful situation to help a customer. My wife won't help me forget it either. Managing incidents is fundamentally different in Slack. Because channels provide teams a single place where people, data, and systems are brought together in the most high-pressure moments of our working day. And in Slack Connect channels shared with the partner, teams can rally together with an external engineering team to ensure incident responses happen in real time, around the clock. With the AWS chatbot app, real-time notifications and data are piped in automatically to help teams monitor their systems from Slack. This helps them address situations immediately as they arise and before they escalate. In this case, Arcadio, a developer at Acme Corp, glances at the issue and knows exactly who to reach out to. With a quick message in channel, it's easy for Arcadio to ask Jonathan, an engineering partner, to jump in and help. Because channels retain a chronological history of what's happened, Jonathan can quickly and independently get completely up to speed. He has all of the context he needs. Now it's time to uncover what's under the hood. With the AWS chatbot app, it's easy for Jonathan to retrieve diagnostic information and invoke Lambda functions right from Slack, so the team can quickly gather information without switching between tools. Jonathan takes a quick look at the error logs and decides it's best to jump on a call with the team. He tags in the infrastructure team to let them know. With Slack calls, powered by Chime, Jonathan easily spins up a native call in just a few clicks. No struggling with different video conferencing systems, downloading apps, and other hoops to jump through to connect with your partners. All the people and context now join together on a call to immediately get aligned and solve the problem. Once the call starts, Slack automatically posts a rich, interactive message in the channel. This shares context on when the call started, who is currently on the call, as well as a handy join button for team members who want to jump in and help. This is an example of why we chose the Chime SDK. We rely on AWS to do the heavy lifting behind the scenes to ensure calls infrastructure runs smoothly. So Slack's engineering team can focus on what we do best, creating rich user experiences like these. Incidents often happen outside of working hours. In fact, I feel like it's the only time they happen. So it's critical to get in touch with teammates, especially if there's certain subject matter expertise required. In Slack, apps and calling features work seamlessly on mobile, so you can be responsive while on the go. And with Chimes SDK, we just rolled out support for mobile video calling. AWS focuses on AV quality, while we focus on getting the integration and user experiences just right. Using the SDK helped us speed up development and deliver value to our customers in a time when teams don't work the traditional 9 to 5 and they're not all in the same office. In this particular team, it's based here in the West Coast of America and in Pune, India. Slack has a very deep strategic relationship with AWS and a number of different product initiatives to support our mutual customers. Both companies share a commitment to excellence built upon a platform customers trust. As Larry mentioned, we also recognize that one size does not fit all. Teams need agility, flexibility, and the freedom to build systems and processes that best meet their business, cultural, and customer needs. AWS provides the technical foundation and value alignment for Slack to deliver on its mission, to make work simpler, more pleasant, and more productive. Thank you again, Larry. It's been great being here. Back to you.
Again, thanks to the team at Slack. Slack, along with Chime, are two of the tools we use at Amazon to let us work from anywhere. Today, you've had a chance to see our vision for the future of business applications. You heard about how we're enabling teams to create their own apps with no coding required and manage their work using Amazon Honeycode. You've heard about how we're building AI and machine learning into our applications with features like Amazon Connect Voice ID and real-time capabilities for a contact lens for Amazon Connect. We talked about how we're creating systems of action with features such as Amazon Connect Wisdom and Amazon Connect Customer Profiles, helping people get their job done, not just keeping a record of what they did. We talked about how we're making people more productive by automating repetitive tasks and not asking people to be computers with features such as Amazon Connect Tasks. And finally, we talked about how we can support work from anywhere using both Amazon Workspaces and Amazon Chime. Now, of course, we've got a number of resources to help you take advantage of our applications. The AWS Professional Services Organization is a global team of experts that can supplement your team with specialized skills and experience to help you realize your goals. AWS Support provides a mix of tools and technology, people, and programs designed to proactively help you with AWS services. Sometimes that means helping you troubleshoot an issue, but more often it involves proactively looking around corners to find ways for you to better utilize AWS services. If you're looking for help from an AWS expert, AWS IQ can help you find and engage that expertise. AWS IQ is a marketplace of certified AWS experts where you can post your specific problem or request for project help, find a certified expert who can help, and then hire that expert for your project. If you need support operating any of your AWS services, AWS Managed Services can help. Managed Services automates common activities such as change requests, monitoring, patch management, security, and backup services. It also provides full lifecycle services to provision, run, and support your infrastructure. AWS training and certification can help your team develop their cloud skills. And finally, if you're a partner, we want you on this journey with us. The AWS Partner Network is the global partner program for technology and consulting businesses who leverage Amazon Web Services to build solutions and services for customers. Finally, please check out these and the many other sessions featuring AWS applications that we have here at reInvent 2020. One of the benefits of doing this virtually is that we've made it even easier to watch more content in more sessions. Take advantage of it. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and I look forward, hopefully, to seeing you live next year at reInvent. Thank you.